Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and again we're going to be working in the Boho Journal, which is beginning to get quite chunky, and I want to do some decorating on those pieces we made in the last video, the journal cards and the tag, and also to add some more decorative pieces to the pages. So I thought the first page I'd quite like to perhaps put something down the edge of here. Just because it's looking a little bit plain. I know these are very brightly coloured, but they need a bit of jazzing up. So I've got more than one option in my head, but I'm not quite sure which one's going to work the best. So I've got my coloured laces here, and I was wondering if this one might do the job, because there's a bit of that colour in the paper, although it's covering that up. Or there's always choices, aren't there? Choices are good, but make sometimes decisions quite difficult. And it is a bit floppy, because I'd like it to stick out a little bit, but it sort of flops over the side. So I'm not sure about that one entirely. I'm not sure. I don't think that colour's going to work. I might just try it. This is the coral, and there's a lot of this in the kit, so in all, in the colours in the journal, so that might work, and it doesn't flop quite as much, but it does rather blend in. I was looking for something a bit more of a contrast. Let's see what else I've got, shall we? I've got the same one as the coral, but in this blue. I'm not sure it's quite the right blue though, that's the trouble. It might be alright. There's that. See how it looks. It's not quite got the turquoisey hue that I'm looking for. It's a bit too blue rather than a turquoise blue, so I don't think that one quite works. What else have I got? That's not very turquoisey either. The other option I thought I might try is some of this crochet lace, just for something completely different. I've got a really wide one, which I quite like, and it could possibly have something decorated down there. Or I think I've given myself too many choices now. I need to make a decision. What am I going to go for? I do quite like that. Now I'm wondering whether I could do a combo. That's also an option. So I have that there, and then bring in the turquoise and overlap it a bit like that. Maybe that would work. It brings in a bit more colour. Maybe I'll do that. Go completely over the top and have two different ones. Let's try that. I think this one was a bit too much. Let's just see if I can get hold of the pin. Excuse me. Teach me to eat a biscuit, won't it, before I film? Making me cough. Okay, right. So a bit of that, and have that sticking out a little bit, but you can still see the decorative snippet as well, and there's a bit more of that going to go into the journal, and then a bit of that there, I think. I'm sorry about the music, that's the ice cream van. It's just pulled up outside my house. And it loves to play that particular tune, which if you're in the UK you'll recognise as the tune from Match of the Day. I don't know why it plays that tune. If you're not in the UK, that's the programme that's on every Saturday night during the football season to show the football highlights of the day. So why we have to have Match of the Day as our ice cream tune, I do not know, but that's what he likes to play. Must be a football fan. especially in the light of our recent triumph in the ladies' football. Right, I'm going to stick those on. I like that. Not at all what I intended when I thought I might do. But that's the thing about having choices. You actually change your mind when you try them out. Right. Just pop that on there. Ooh, not very straight. Okay. I think the ice cream van has moved on. Thank goodness. Right, just got to decide where this is going to go. Okay. Now, there is a right way and a wrong way with this one. Yeah, that's the right way. Right. I think that's quite nice. When it's dry, I'll just trim off these bits top and bottom. I might just pop a little bit of glue, as I said, under the scallops, just to hold it down. Just a little tiny blob under each one. When I say a tiny blob, I think the glue has other ideas. It's working in big blobs today. But better to have big blobs than no blobs. Okay. Oops, got a bit scuffed up here, hasn't it? That's it. That's better. So it's quite gluey, so it shouldn't come off. Ugh. Right. So that's that for now. See, I'll trim it off a bit later when it's properly dry. Let's hope I haven't got any. Oh, it's not quite straight along the edge there, is it? Perhaps I can pull it out a little bit. So it just straightens it up. There we are, that's better. Right, so I just pulled these bits out. So I've got this card that's going to go in this pocket. So, I want it visible, but not in my way. So I'll just move it up there, I think. I thought I might use these. I was looking in my little box of die cuts. I don't very often reach for my die cuts, and I thought it'd be nice to have something different on some of these journal cards, especially as I want to keep them quite flat because these pockets are not that fat. And I like this doily, it fits on rather nicely. And the journal card is pretty decorative already with the collaging that we did. So I was thinking that something like that might look quite nice. It brings in the colours. I've had this butterfly. I think somebody gave it to me ages and ages ago. I haven't got this die, and so I've had it, goodness knows how long. And finally, I think it'll just be perfect on here. I get to use it. So I'm just wanting to see if it needs anything else behind the doily or behind the butterfly. Let's have a look at some of the fabricy bits. Got some coffee dyed lace here. I don't know if that would be too much. Just have a little piece of that. going to make it too bulky. It's quite fat, this bit of decoration. There's that bit, it's not quite as thick. I don't think it works. I think I need something flatter or nothing at all. So I've got my little fabricy bits here. And if I can use a piece of this, I haven't really used this apart from in the inside cover. Not sure it's going to go with the orange butterfly. No, not really. Got a piece of the what's it called? The baby wipe, the painty baby wipes. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm just wondering whether to ink it a little bit around the edge. I might just do it very lightly around the edge of the doily, just to define the edge really more than anything. Okay, so I've inked around the doily. I'm not going to ink around this because it's not really worth it. It's not going to show even if I did. So I'm just going to glue this on. Okay. Whoops. And I'll use a card just to dab that down, so I don't get not that one. That one will work. Now, I know I haven't added any extra layers, but I did think I'd quite like to add a little extra bling, so I poured in my glitter glue, my gold glitter glue, and the gold liquid pearls, but I think I'm going to go for the glitter glue, partly because it might dry quicker, partly because I think it's got a little bit more sparkle, and I think I'd like a little bit of sparkle in this. I'm just going to put some, I don't know if I've even used this one before. Has it got a bit blocked already? Nope, here it comes. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but I've just put just a touch of glitter all over it, just a few little bits around the edges, and I've just spread it with my finger in the middle, just so that it just catches the light here and there. Hopefully not too much. I quite like that, but I won't be able to put it in the pocket until I've let it dry. But I do want to put a topper on. So I think because the topper's the only bit that's going to show when it's in the pocket, it needs to work in this spot here, because that's where I want to put it. So I've got a few options. Got a little bit of ruffle here, might work. Got this bit of fabric, that might be quite nice. Anything else? I've got this little piece with the sequins. Let's see which of those. to work on here. So I could just do a bit of that. That look nice, just poking up. Maybe I'll do that bit of that. Right, so that will go there. So I just need to make sure this goes in the right place. Okay, hopefully it's wide enough to... Yep. Okay, I'll stick the other side on without having to... I'll have to do it without putting it down. I hope that's fairly central. And I have backed all of these cards just with some paper from the kit because it was already quite thick as it was the collage on scrapbook paper, so I just use a piece of just copy paper that I printed. It was one of the pieces that I hadn't actually used or had left over, so I thought that looked quite nice on the back. So it's plain enough to write on, but it's a little bit decorative as well. Right, so that will go nicely just there. So I'll leave this out till it dries and then we can pop that in the book. And just clean off my top. And where is it? Where's my top gone? There it is. Oh. That'll be one of those days. Okay. Right, so that's that one done. So we'll just work our way through, see what else there is to work on. Done all those. I know I've got an idea for something I'm going to make in here, so I'll do that in the next video, I think. And yep, this was all done. And that one. So I think I've got something I want to do in the middle. Yes, here we go. And all of these pieces I'm going to sew around afterwards as well, including these two. I made these two off camera. I think I talked in the last video that I'd like to do some corner pockets on here. So I've made these and they're in a nice contrast to the background, which is a very busy, very colourful background. So I've done this, taken again from the kit, same kit, but just a more neutrally colour. So they just need decorating and gluing on. No, before I glue them on, I'm going to sew around them. But first I need to decorate them. And I thought what I would do, I think I'd like to just do some sort of snippety bits on there. See what I can find. I've also got a bit in here, I think. Yeah, I've got this leftover piece, which I can't remember, is that meant to be going in? No, I've got a piece to go in there. So this piece, this is the one I did on camera where it's in two different halves, two different colours. And this is an odd bit left over. Let's have a look. So I could put that one, would go nice, quite nice there. Wondering if I could pop that piece there. Got that. What else have I got? I've got, oh, this is another piece of the snippet roll. I'm not sure, will that work? It's going to be a bit bulky here, I think, because that's going to bang up against this one, so I don't think that's going to quite work. I think these ones, these are actual clusters, they're too big. So I'm going to need to use a piece of this, I think. So I think I'll have to cut it here. It's a little bit bigger than this piece. So I wonder if I can put a little something else underneath here just to make it the same sort of size. Just going to trim this off at the top here. And put that on there, I think. And I just need to put something behind this one to make it a similar size. What can I use? I have options. Could use a piece of this, actually. Maybe that would be quite nice behind there. Cut that down. And a smaller piece. I made that, oops, wrong way. Put that like that, and put it on like that. That would just make that a little bit bigger. And I think that might do it. So I might stick those two bits together. No, it needs to be a little bit higher up, I think. How's that? I think that's okay. I think this is a little bit too much. I'm just going to take that piece down a touch. Oh, it's quite thick. Getting there. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm tempted to put a piece of this purple over here to bring that colour in. Maybe just a tiny piece. See if I can just add a little piece of that under here. How would that look? I might just pop that under there. Where's that? Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the piece. That wasn't the bottle I meant to pick up. This one. Whoa! Forgot to put the look at that. I forgot to put the top on, didn't I? Great big blob. Okay. Just a tiny bit of that colour, just to tie the two together. Okay, I should put those on now. Put this one on. Okay. Right. So those two pockets, I've just got to leave them to dry now. Put those over there. Okay, what's next? Alright, so we've got another piece of this to go on. So I've just got to glue that. I'll just glue down the edge of the page first, and then I'll glue on the edge of the snippet roll as well. See how it looks when it's closed. Yep, I mean you can see them sticking out from the book, but I don't mind that. I quite like it. Just those two, but they give it a nice bit of something extra blingy and fancy. Right, now we've got our tag, and I've got a few bits again picked out to go on this, but it could all change. Put that over there for a second. So this is the main tag. Now I was thinking I might do some stamping on here, but actually I think by the time I've covered it up with other bits, it doesn't seem worth it. And I was thinking I might use a piece of this, although I've already got some of that on there already, haven't I? So that might not be such a good idea. Shall I do some bit of stamping? Maybe I'll just do a little bit. Right, so I picked out these two little stamps. They're both by Finnabair, from Prima Marketing. This one is called Old Receipt, and this one is like an astronomy table called Solar and Lunar. So I think I'll just do a bit of random stamping of these on that plain bit. I didn't want script because I've got a bit of script going down there already. And I've also done a bit of stamping on, I think, when I did the collage, masterboard. Right, let's do a little bit of this one. This one's got a little bird at the top, so maybe I'll try and see if I can get him up here. Okay, now that's that one. Where did the clear plastic go? It just disappears, doesn't it? These little bits of clear plastic that you have on the on the backs of stamps, they just disappear. I'm sure it'll turn up. Right, this one. I'm going to put it on here and just do a little bit of random stamping. Okay. A little bit down there. That'll do. Don't suppose it will show up much, but that's fine. That one I've managed to take note of where I put that one, but where the other one went I do not know. Yes, I see it. I see it. Glinted at me from my desk. Okay. Now, let's put this away before I get myself in a mess. Right, so I pulled out a couple of die cuts. As I said, I went in my little box of die cuts and I made these a while ago. I've got this, I think this is Tim Holtz die, and I thought the black was rather nice on that background. And this one is almost too similar in colour. Maybe that should go first on the back there. Maybe this one go here. It's almost, that's why I think this is too close in colour, which is why I thought I might put something behind it. I'm not sure that's big enough actually. Let's see. So maybe I'll put that there. And then I've got a little scrap of paper which might again be too close in colour. Might have to have another look in my boxes, in my scrap folder with all the bits and pieces. Maybe I need to pull out something a bit more contrasting to show these up properly. Let's have a look. stay there. It's not too bad. Something like that. Might be alright. Ink it up a bit. I don't want this to completely dominate. I want the flowers to show up, not to be dominated by the background. Maybe that will be okay. I'll just ink up these pieces. I'm just going to pull in my vintage photo, just ink around them. I think. And this piece. Well, we were looking after our little granddaughter this weekend. Hurricane Alyssa, I call her, because she's just like a whirlwind. She's got so much energy. But we had so much fun with her. She was in great form. She thoroughly enjoyed herself. We took her over to we actually live quite near the whitewater rafting centre that was used in the Olympics. It's only like 15 minutes up the road from us. So we took her over there in the afternoon. Oh, she loved it. She loved it because they use it all the time. They have these people on canoes, and it's very, it's all these rough waters where they do this whitewater rafting. And then they have these big rafts that people go in, they book it, and you have 9 people in it, one of which is a member of staff. And they go through these rapids, and they like tipping them out the water and everything. And she thought we couldn't get her to come away. She wanted to stay there for ages. We were there a couple of hours, and she thoroughly enjoyed it, sitting on Grandad's shoulders most of the time. I quite hold on poor Grandad, but they gave her a really good view. And it's a really great place just to wander around and watch the action. You can just walk around. They've got paths all around. There was a big sand pit the kids can play in. It's a really great resource, really, for the local community. And that, whenever we've been, it's always being used. Doesn't matter what time of year you go, there's always people in there having their go. People book these rafting trips for birthdays and things, and they go in a big group. Our family did it a couple of years ago, I think, and it was my sister and her family and my family. Not me, of course. I didn't go in. I'm much too much of a custard, and I'm not a strong enough swimmer. I'd be scared to death. But most of the family did, and yeah, they had a great time. But they have to be able to, they teach them, they've all got buoyancy aids on, and they get them to jump in the waters and get the feel of the just being in the water before they ever get in the raft. And they give them lots of safety talks and all that before they start. But it's a great thing, and I mean, there was loads of them out on Sunday, so lots to watch. It was really great. I've lost nearly all my lace there now, haven't I? What a shame. Never mind, that's what happens. So now I'll put that one there, I think. Yeah, so we had a really good time with her. She was really good. She didn't want to go home, which was quite funny. We picked her up about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we were trying to take her home at 6 o'clock because her mum and dad were having to do some work on the house. They needed to clear out their loft, so they said, could we take her for the day so that they could just get on with it, because otherwise they'd get far too much unhelpful help from their daughter. So we were happy to do that. So we picked her up at 10. Come 6 o'clock, we were ready to go home to take her back. We'd had a lovely time, but we felt like she was just getting to the point where if we didn't go soon, she'd get way over the top and overtired. But she didn't want to go. But we just had to be firm. But she was very good. She didn't give us any trouble. She ate all her food. which is quite something because she doesn't very often. Not that we gave her a lot of food, but she ate what she was given, and that was nice. And yeah, it was great fun. I was absolutely shattered by the end of the day. But she does seem to really love coming to our house. She wanted to stay over, actually. She said, "Can I sleep over tonight?" No, I'm afraid not. Not this time. But we must try and do it one more time before we move, I guess. Although I was showing her pictures of the new house, and she wanted to see a picture of her room. But we didn't actually have a picture of the room that we're going to be using for her and any other grandchildren that might turn up, because it's been used as a bit of a dumping room by the current owner. I think it's where they're starting to clear out. So there were no pictures because you couldn't really see the room because of all the stuff in it. But I think it'll be fun to do. I don't think she wants Peppa Pig again. I think the new house is going to have some sort of new decoration. There seemed to be some interest in having dinosaurs in there, so maybe that would be quite good, because it would be good for boys or girls. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when the time comes, when we come to decorating it. Don't suppose it'll be our top priority, although I don't know that she'll see it that way. Okay, there we are. So a fairly simple design. I think I need a label of some sort. So I have a box of labels that I still haven't cut them all out. There are pages and pages of labels and ephemera and bits and pieces from Shabby Dabby Doodah. That's a bit too big. Is that any good? Look at this one. I like the idea of this colour. Big one and maybe a little tiny one. Got some really tiny ones in this box. That's a tiny one that can go in there. Maybe something. Tuck that under there a little bit. Put that there maybe. So I've got, what about the black to go with it with the black flower. I quite like that black. I don't use black very often, but it sort of shows up really well against the other colours. Didn't do a very good job of cutting this one out. Now, can I tell which way up that's meant to be? The writing is so faint. There we are, so that's the way. Like that maybe. Yeah, I think that one would be quite good. Ooh. Running out of places to put things. What about that one there? What about one at the top instead of having the two together? About having one there. Yeah. No. Nope. Draws the eye too much up that way. I don't want it to be quite as loud as that. Maybe that goes better down there. Okay. Actually, I just want to. I don't like these corners. I'm going to snip the corners on this. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a bit too sharp on the corners. Just tuck that in there a little bit. Put this little one on as well. Oops. It's going to get a bit rusty, I think. Okay, so I was either going to go there or down there. No, I think I like it there. There we are. Okay, now all I need to do is put a little topper on here, don't I? Maybe I'll use one of my tabs. If I've got any, that would work, unless it's in the right colours. I've got loads here, but I don't know if any of them will work on this journal, on this paper. What's this? Oh, I must have been sent some of these in a... don't know where these came from. Maybe I'll put it there like that. I think this came included in some sort of Etsy purchase. There's that one. Well, there's that one. Any others? No. Every colour but the ones I'm using. Right, let's see. I've got that. Or I quite like that actually. So that's the one I'm going to use. I probably ought to do a little bit of inking first, didn't I? So make sure it shows up properly. Don't glue together. No, don't glue together. Okay. Right. Let's try it in the book. Oop. It's getting this open properly. It's a little tricky. There we go. Are we in? Yes, we are. Let's just put that down there. And that sits there nicely. There we go. Right, so that's that one. I think there was one more to do. This one. Right. And that's got to go in sideways. Right, so again I've picked out a few bits that may well work. Doily once more, so I don't think I'll be using the whole doily this time. And I found this all in my die cut box things I've cut out over the years, or somebody's cut out and given me or something. And I thought that might be quite nice with that bit of doily behind it there. And my little bird die cut that I got. This is another Tim Holtz die that I bought recently, and I think he goes quite nicely on there. So that's my thought. But I do want to edge the frame. One thing I want to do is cut the doily, so cut the doily there. Where was it? Cut the doily about here. And across there, just a little bit. What's here? Right. Stay still. Like that. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit of gold around the edge of the frame, I think. So Alyssa did some, we did crafting. We always do crafting when she comes. That's what we call it. She says, can we do crafting, Nana? And she loves the inks, particularly the gold and the silver. She did lots of finger painting with gold and silver inks. I'm surprised this one got treated quite roughly, but it seems to have survived. So, yeah, I try to keep her from using too many of the things that I use a lot, but I don't use this very much. But I think I found that when it was actually quite a juicy one. I thought, well, I could use that for going around the edge of things. So that's what I'm going to do, although it doesn't look particularly shiny, but it is just giving it that edge. Yeah, she loves the gold. I've discovered I have 4 different pads, ink pads, gold ink pads. But she's managed to kill 2 of them. So the 2 little ones, they were a bit old, so they had to go. But I've got a couple of bigger ones. I've got this one and a different make, and they seem to work quite well. So I didn't mind her using them because it's not something I use very often. So I don't find they stamp particularly well, but they're not bad for doing this kind of thing. And apparently they seem to do finger painting quite well. You poke your fingers in enough and rub it around, you can get lots of ink on it, it turns out. She had fun. And when she's having fun, I'm having fun. Just have to keep an eye on what she gets into. She just loves having a poke around in all my little drawers and see what she can find to play with, especially if I've said, oh no, that this is the drawer you want. I put all things that I thought she could use in one drawer. So I said, here, this is the drawer for you. She said, no, close that one, not interested in that one. No, I want this drawer. Okay. She said, you let me do that before, so all right then, you can use the inks if you want to. But I don't let her have the archival ink because that doesn't wash off quite so easily. Right, I think I made that not quite a bit too big, so I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. And I'm going to cover up this lace, aren't I? That's a shame. Never mind. That's what happens. You make these things and then you end up covering up the nice bits, or some of the nice bits. So that's that. And then I've got my little bird here. Quite like him in there, just for something different. I mean, I could have framed one of my moocher ladies, but I just thought, just for something different, a bird would be quite fun instead. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's glue this on. We must be over time by now. I'm sure I am. I can see some editing in my future. So I'll have to do all the sewing around of all these pieces off camera, and then I'll show you them finished. And oh, I didn't know I had two pieces. Oh well, that's all right. Just use that piece. No, it's upside down, isn't it? Oh, hang on, how did that happen? No, that's the other side. That's where I want it. That's right. Let's just check. Yep, that's okay. And then that goes over there. I think I want it a little lower. Right, let's pop that there. And my little bird. Is that even straight? No. And then I'll just pop him in the frame like that. Okay. There he is. Lovely. Right, and I just need to put something here to pull the card in and out with. Again, let's see what we can find this time. I wonder if a piece of this might work. No, I think that's too thick. Is it that one? No. No. No, that's not enough of a contrast. I've got my bits of baby wipe. I could use a piece of this. Might be too green. And like the others, I've decorated it. I've just covered the back. That work? The alternative is a piece of lace. Not that one. Maybe a piece of this would be nice. I'm sorry if this has gone way over. Get so caught up when you're doing these decorating things. Even though I've made some you know, thought about it a little bit ahead. But when it comes to actually making those decisions, it seems to take ages. Put that there, I think. Just a little bit skew-off because it's the way the lace seems to go. Just try and straighten it up there. It's not quite on far enough. It's a bit flippity-floppity, isn't it? Let's pull it on a little bit further. Just need a little bit to poke out. So you've got something to get hold of. There we are. Okay, that's that. Let's just clear up and then I'll show you what. Right, so I'll just do a quick recap on what we did today. Did quite a lot, but taking a bit of time over it. Bit of decoration on the front here, and added a second piece of the snippet roll at the back, so I've got the two. So it just pokes out at the sides, and I rather like that. It just gives the whole thing more personality. I think I might put some more of this right at the back here on this one as well, although I have got this pocket here, so that might work. We'll see. I might put some on there so that just pokes out a little bit, but I'll see how that looks next time. And then we did the two journal cards, the two big journal cards. The glitter on this one's dried now, so I just need to sew around this, and again around this one. And then the big tag for the envelope, again, needs to be sewn around. And then the final two things to be sewn around are these two corner pockets, which I just stuck some of the snippet roll on, and then they'll go in the middle, and I'm just going to sew around those two as well before I glue them in. So that's it, that's what we've done today. Been quite productive. Thank you very much for joining me again, and please do join me again soon. Bye for now.